It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
And welcome to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, without Ermanni, Edwards, or Maz. It's the day after Thanksgiving. My name is Stick, filling in. I guess I'm filling in for Braylon since I'm sitting in the Braylon seat, right?
Yeah, the Braylon seat, and then you got your big fan down there, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't have my service. Where's my service?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, but you know, this show is special. We're supposed to have a bucket of champagne here.
My charcuterie board.
Right.
What is going on? Terry Foster in the building right now. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you. We don't rate, but it's good to be here.
We don't what?
We don't rate.
Okay. All right. Well, I was like, either way, we don't do either of those things. But
I'm glad you heard that, too.
I was like, wait, what? Show's taking a twist off the beginning. We got Kool-Aid in the sound booth today.
Hey.
How you doing, Kool-Aid?
I'm doing good, man. Wore my Lions blue because I still got faith, man. I'm not one of those new Monday Lions fans. Bro.
Yeah, and then, of course, JB making sure we look good on the big screen. So thank you, JB, for coming in today, the day after Thanksgiving. And it's just pretty much going to be, we're going to be talking Lions fans off the ledge. Because, my God, Terry, the amount of panic I'm seeing from fans, from Twitter/X/ the guy that was sitting right where JB was sitting about an hour ago, Spencer, having mental breakdowns over Jared Goff and trying to defend AG. And then I got Easy trolling the chat, I'm sure, right now already. Terry, you wanted to address Lions fans in a specific way.
Yes. Lion fans, and I've said this a few times, are a little bit dumb. They're that cute little dog puppy that you have, that you want to pet him and everything. He's jumping up and down and everything. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is he's a little bit dumb.
Yeah.
Now, here's my experience with Lion fans. I've had them chase me out Ford Field and the Silverdome when the Lions are 4-11 or 4-12 or something, telling me, they're gonna be good. This team is good. They're gonna make a run into the playoffs. Blah blah. So get out of my face. Now that they've dropped to 8-3, there's this guy running to in the car wash telling me every year they're gonna win 13, 14 to 15 games before any season begins, and they never do.
Right.
Now that they're 8-3 and lost to the Packers, the season is done. They're not going to win another game the rest of the year.
No, how can they? I mean, the season's over. It's Black Friday because it's a funeral for the Detroit Lions. Right. I mean, how could they possibly ever win again? Or even potentially win the division. How could it happen, Terry? Hey, you know what? We were talking before the show. I'm one of those guys. At 4-7, when the Lions were shitty, I was like, hey, you know what? A couple wins. They win 6 in a row here. Next thing you know, we get on a run. We're in the playoffs. I was that guy, and you've made fun of me for years.
I sure did.
Yeah.
And love making fun of you.
But now, if I'm rooting for them at 4-7 and believing them, do you think I'm going to jump off some bandwagon at 8-3? The record I've been begging for my entire life, but because they didn't get there the way I wanted them to, that they're not doing things the way I think they should be doing, I'm no longer a fan.
Now, what do you call the line for the new money fans?
I coined that phrase a couple weeks ago, yep, and it just reminds me of the rich kids I went to high school with. And they're new money fans. These are new money Lions fans. They've never experienced winning. Just like some people, when they grow up poor, they never experience money. But now that they got money, they don't know what to do with it, and none of it's enough, right? It's like the kid that grew up poor, and now having the Bentley isn't enough. Having 4 mansions isn't enough. He needs more because he feels like he deserves it. It's like, you don't deserve it. 8-3 is a fantastic record. Maybe the Green Bay Packers aren't as bad as you thought they were, or maybe this is the NFL where even the Eagles, who have one loss, who was that one loss to? The Jets.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Eagles lost to the Jets. They could never win a Super Bowl.
Can the Niners win a Super Bowl this year?
No, they went on a 3-game losing streak, Terry. These fans would have thrown themselves off the Belle Isle Bridge if the Lions have lost 3 games.
Ambassador Bridge is taller.
Gordie Howe Bridge, I don't care. They're gonna jump in that nasty ass water and drown because the season isn't perfect. And who the hell thought they were gonna only have 2 losses on the whole season?
Now, you're Mr. Optimistic. How many did you pick him to win this?
I was right around 12.
Okay.
If they were 12-5, I would have pictured that as a step forward for this team.
And that's still a possibility.
Oh, it's more than a possibility. Do you think they're going to go 4-2 down the stretch?
It's possible, sure.
I think 4-2 is what you can expect down the stretch and still be happy. 3-3. Now you're starting to get a little concerned. They start going on a losing record to end the season. Then we can talk. Then we can hit some panic buttons. Then we can sit in that booth like Spencer and cry about Jared Goff. But until then, the guy that got you to 8-3 is better than anybody else you got.
I think the Lion fans feel that they've lost 2 games in a row. Even though they beat the Bears, in their minds they've lost 2 in a row. And so that's why there's a little bit of panic. But I want to educate you guys on something. Every team loses 2 games in a row at some point in the NFL. It just happens.
Well, new money fans don't understand that because they don't know what winning teams have done over the past, Terry.
And by the way,
they
the
only
Lions
watch
haven't
Sports
lost
Center
2
and they
games
only
in a
see
row.
highlights of Patrick Mahomes. They don't see the highlights of when the Chiefs blow a game that they shouldn't have. Like these new money fans, they don't understand it. They don't understand that losses happen in the NFL.
It's a very tough league. And when 70% of games are decided by 1 score, it's like a coin flip every Sunday or Thursday or Monday or whenever they play. So, but in defense of the new money fans, there are some problems with this team, and they've been here all season.
And we can address that by a game, right? Like, I will say, yesterday was a horrible game. I can come out with very good things to say about yesterday's game, but I can understand that's 1 of 11 right now. So I'm not going to say that's what they are. And that's what I have a problem with these fans overreacting. If they win a game, they could win a Super Bowl. If they lose a game, they can't even make the playoffs. Like, the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? The Lions aren't the best team in the NFL right now, but they are a playoff contender.
No, they're a playoff team. They're more than a playoff contender.
Okay.
I would go even a step further, say they are a Super Bowl contender, but they will not go to the Super Bowl.
And would you consider that a failure?
No, I think there's a process that fans must understand, a team must go through. In my mind, it's probably a little bit different than yours. This is the first time that the Lions have become a real organization. And I don't believe that the first time you get it right, you go all the way to the top and win a championship.
Well, you were there when the Bad Boys had to build it. You were there when the 04 Pistons had to build it. You were there when the Red Wings had to build it. You were there when the Tigers had to build it to get to the World Series. The Tigers didn't win in the 2000s, but you saw they were building it over time. Pudge Rodriguez came. Maglio Ordonez came. You know, like those things had to happen to get where you're at. And that's why I just feel that everybody's spoiled right now. We're earlier in the development than you thought the Lions would be. I think that's fair to say, right?
Yeah, I think people just don't know. Now, you brought me back to the Bad Boys. The Bad Boys were 1 game away from being broken up. In '87, they had a 5-game series with the Washington Wizards. They weren't the Wizards then. I think they were the Bullets or whatever they were. It was 2-2. If the Pistons had lost Game 5, they were going to break that team up. And because what was said in this town, you can't build a team around a 6'1" point guard and expect to win. The Pistons don't have enough offense. They don't have enough stars on their team, so they can't win it. So then it came down to Game 5, and all the naysayers said, "Yep, told you so." 1 game from now, breaking this stuff up right now.
Right.
Well, they won the game easily, and then they won 2 championships, went to 3 NBA finals.
And you always wonder, like, how many teams out there were like that, right? Just so close before someone gave up on them and tried to rebuild.
Oh, that's right. And you know who got fired during that span?
Who?
Chuck Daly.
because he forgot how to coach basketball.
Right, but he did get fired for real. But then I guess Isaiah Thomas and Jack McCloskey had a big coming to Jesus meeting at McDonald's, and Chuck Daly was rehired.
And that was the right move.
Right.
So, like, sometimes it doesn't work out one season, but it will the next. And that's just yesterday, man. Like, it was tough to watch, all right? It's already tough enough watching the Lions play like that. But then you just know all these little trolls that have been waiting for them to have a bad game come out of the woodwork and say just now they doubted the whole time. They knew the Lions could never do anything. They're never going to win a division. It's just like, just pump the brakes, man. Just pump the brakes.
Well, they've had 2 bad games.
They have, but they've won one of them. They played
did.
3 games in 11 days and won 2 of them. I think going into that stretch, that's a reasonable expectation for a good team. Don't you think?
Yes, but this town wanted 3 wins.
Of course you do.
This
Of course, I
town
want undefeated.
Wanted some good play. This town didn't want to see the opposing quarterbacks getting all kinds of time to, throw the football. When you get quarterbacks patting the ball, looking over the field, you're in trouble. And that's what's happened the last 3 games with the Lions.
And conversely, well, not the last 3 games for the Lions, but conversely, when you have your quarterback under constant pressure, it causes him to make some uncharacteristic throws and do some uncharacteristic things. Because you saw it during the Chargers game. What did Jared Goff say after the game? I don't even remember getting touched that game. I think that's what he said to the post game.
He did say that.
And
technically, there were two
touches.
Yes.
He got touched twice. But he played his ass off that game because he had time. The last 2 games, he doesn't get that time, and now all of a sudden, everybody's throwing Jared Goff out like he can't do it. Even though, still, if you want to throw out the Stafford stats from yesterday, it's still 320 and 2 touchdowns.
All right, but brother, if you turn the ball over 5 or 6 times,
you deserve to
in
lose.
2 games. You deserve to be criticized.
I understand that.
So
you can be
don't give him a
criticized,
pass.
but you can't also ignore what's causing that to happen, right? You can't just sit there and be like, well, it's a Jared Goff problem and not look at anything else on the team. Like the interceptions last game, Laporta got knocked off his route. The interception last game was a tip ball. Those are things that do happen in the NFL, which are fine. Jared Goff admitted to that, saying it's the cost of doing business. But you can't just isolate one thing and say that's the reason when it's clear it's a little bit bigger than that right now.
it is, and there's other thing, and I'm going to quote the great philosopher Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley says, "There's no such thing as a sophomore slump. Teams have film on you. Teams are taking you more seriously." And for many years, teams did not take the Lions seriously. And I think this year we're seeing that they are the hunted, that teams do, when they go into a game, they know they got to play their best game. Chicago and Green Bay didn't want to come to Ford Field and be embarrassed, because if they come in with a half-assed performance, the Lions would embarrass them. So I thought the Bears, even more than Green Bay, played their asses off. I saw them do things they've never done before. I saw effort I'd never seen before. So the Lions now have to readjust. They have to say, okay, we can't just have this half-ass pass rush. Aaron Glenn has got to dial up some blitzes. They have to be creative in the way that they attack opposing quarterbacks. Jared Goff is like, I haven't been touched, so I can be lily-milly or whatever. No, he's got to hang on to that ball. He's got to concentrate a little bit more, because there's going to be somebody in his face.
Yeah, I'm not absolving him from his issues. I'm just saying that he's not the only one that's causing them right now. And to throw Jared Goff out and say you want to start Hendon Hooker is just probably the laziest, pathetic football take I've
Where
ever
do you
heard.
live?
Huh?
Where do you live?
I live in Detroit.
Okay, in Detroit, for decades,
The backup quarterback.
They love the backup quarterback.
Mike
better than the
McMahon,
starter.
baby.
Yeah.
Mike
Lord.
David Blau. Wasn't it Blau the first year?
Yeah, it was Blau for a couple years.
Did they want Blau?
Oh,
Yeah.
what's my man who did this all the time?
Oh, Dante Culpepper.
They want him to start.
Yeah, more
And-
backups that we could throw in that
here's
suck.
the worst quarterback Lion fans wanted to start. Andre Ware.
Oh, Heisman. Andre Ware.
They wanted to start him ahead of Eric Kramer and Rodney Peete.
Okay.
No.
The best job in town is always the backup quarterback position, and the best deals in town are always going on at Dispo in Romeo. They create an exclusive atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory for Michigan's largest variety of products. Your first ever cannabis mall, one of its kind, and conveniently located on 32 Mile in Van Dyke in Romeo. Hit up disposhops.com to check it out.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesales.com or give them a call at 248-290-8242. markwhitesales.com, where flexibility meets success.
Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz live on Woodward Sports. My name is Stick, filling in for Braylon Edwards. That right there is Mr. Terry Foster, the legend, the myth.
Peace.
Got the DCFC shirt on.
I'm not a myth because I'm actually here.
You're a myth. You're a mythical creature, Terry.
Yeah, myth means you don't exist.
You're a phoenix. You've risen from the ashes. That's a mythical creature.
All right.
You got to take it.
Then I'm mythical then. Whatever.
Whatever. Kool-Aid is in the sound booth. JB is here in the TD lab. Terry, before the break, you brought up something that has been addressed by Dan Campbell, but I think you are 100% right that it's starting to show a little more, and that's the Lions being the hunted. It's an adjustment you got to make as an NFL team when people go from, it's the Lions. Like, the Lions went from being the perennial trap game, like, hey, we can't overlook the Lions even though we're playing our divisional rival next week, to now it's, hey, the Lions are circled on the calendar, especially for the Green Bay Packers after what you did to them in their house earlier this season.
Right.
And that adjustment's tough for some teams. That's the next level,
how
right?
How many times, and this did happen a few times back in the day, did the Lions beat Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre? And the Green Bay would be all pissed off. How did we lose to these clowns?
Right.
As because you didn't take them seriously. I don't think the Lions took the Bears and the Packers seriously. They gave up early scores. They were behind. They were behind the 8 ball. That's a team that's not focused. And Dan Campbell said, I did not have my team prepared. He's correct. He did not have them prepared the correct way. You got to, the Lions are, I think they're a team that's a little bit sheltered, a little bit pampered. They're getting all kinds of love in this town.
Right.
Before these 2 games. And no matter what happens, when that happens, you lose that edge. The Lions have to get the edge. Aaron Glenn is not a guy that likes to blitz. But when you see what's happened these last few games, you have to say, okay, we've got to make some adjustments. Now, the offense needs to make some adjustments because now you got to protect Jared Goff. I think we got into a comfort zone. Jared Goff can do no wrong.
Yep, I was in that comfort zone. Every time he dropped back, you felt it was
Right.
going to be a complete pass for 15 yards. Every time.
Correct. That's not the case.
Right.
So now instead of saying, hey, man, this offensive line is really good, now this offensive line has to really be good. It's funny to me that when the Lions' offensive line was beaten up, injured, had bandages hanging from their asses and everything, they were better than they are almost completely healthy. How does that happen? It's because you've lost your edge.
And I was thinking on the way in here, one thing that, I always try to look for the positive, the silver lining and everything. And one thing I was thinking of is the Lions are an 8-3 team. And everybody's acting like they're losers. Everybody's acting like they can't win another game. I've heard people say they're only going to win 2 more games this season. So even at 8-3, the Lions could still carry that underdog, nobody believes in us mentality. And I think that may be important for the rest of the season because this is not a comfortable 8-3. So I hope the Lions use that to push themselves even further than just falling back and being comfortable being 8-3. Because nobody's praising them right now at 8-3. So I don't see them getting comfortable because, to your point, the 2 times they have, they've lost 3 games, but the first game they lost, they were getting all types of praise coming off of Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And then what happens? Seattle came, punches you right in the mouth.
Right.
But
and
you still
what
went to
happened
overtime.
after that? The Lions are flukes. It's not going to happen. They're done.
Right. And then they're world beaters again because they went into Tampa Bay and beat a winning team at that time. But then they go get smoked by the Ravens. And now all of a sudden,
it's done again.
It's done again. And then they're world beaters again. They came back. They went to L.A. on the road, did a shootout with one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Justin Herbert. Oh, the offense that they have out there. Okay, they're good. Oh, they came back. Good. This team has resolve. Now they lose. Well, season's over. So I want people to enjoy the ride. And I feel like the better the Lions get, the worse the fans are getting.
Right, because, there's still some stench on Lions fans from the 60 years of incompetence. Every time something bad happens, you don't think the good is going to come again, or you're afraid it's not going to come again. So I understand where the little dumb Lion fans are coming from because they have been beaten up, abused, spit on, and crapped on by this organization. So when good things happen, something's a little piece of you back here is like, this is not real.
Yeah.
It's going to come apart. And then you see a bad game, and then it hits the fan.
Yeah, and that's where we're at today. And unfortunately, I didn't want to come in here and do this show today. I wanted to come in here at 9-2, and everybody's popping bottles and saying we're world beaters. Those shows are a lot more fun to do. But I got to be realistic as well. That game yesterday was not good. And if it was a one-off, I wouldn't mind it. But the fact that it's been back-to-back like that, I'm starting to get a little concerned. But I'm definitely not going to stop believing in this team and that they can make the proper adjustments to figure it out. I don't stop believing that Dan Campbell can coach football because he makes a dumbass call on 4th and 4 from your own 25.
But, it's only a dumb call because it didn't work.
Yeah, I know. He would have been a genius if it works, but that was a dumb call.
No, big boy. He did the exact same thing against Kansas City.
Nah, they weren't down.
No, but they were at the 17-yard line.
That's different then. You're playing with house money when you're up. When you're down like that, chasing a team.
It's still a bad move.
I agree. It's dumb either way. Sometimes doing dumb shit works out. I understand that. Believe me, that's my entire life. It's played out that way. But sometimes doing dumb shit gets you hurt.
Right. But, the other thing, Dan Campbell has been such a gambler, quote unquote. He's not a gambler anymore. It's like the element of surprise is gone. When it's 4th and 2, and
everybody's
they're in punt
expecting
formation, you're like, the defense, I don't know, they're going for it. So they're ready. They're almost not in special teams formation, but in defensive formation because they know that the Lions are going to go for it.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday. If you're going to go for that, send your damn offense out there, right?
Right.
Wouldn't you rather have the ball in Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown's hand than Maven?
Right.
Reeves Maven? It was a tough call yesterday, and that was kind of the breaking point. And with all this being said, the Lions only lost by 7 points. As bad as they have played.
Yeah, but it was a little fake touchdown at the end.
No,
They were not in position really to win that game.
They still lost by 7 points.
But if you don't make that,
History will show they lost by 7 points.
That's in the record book. But maybe if he doesn't make the quote unquote dumb play, maybe it goes in overtime at least and they have a shot to win.
Right, or you kick some field goals along the way instead of trying to go for it on 4th down all the time. You know, Dan Campbell, that's the one knock I've had on him. Again, I'm a Dan Campbell guy. I love everything about this guy. When he's tearing up on Monday Night Football, I'm tearing up with him while he's talking about his guys. But you could go back and watch the post-game shows with me and Anson since the guy got here. It's like you cannot put your team in positions to fail. Your job as a coach is to only put them in the best position to win. And that didn't do it this past game.
Yeah, he's got to learn. Maybe he should go a month or so without a fake punt or a fake field goal. And then you add the element of surprise. And maybe, we're talking about, man, Dan Campbell, he's really conservative on those 4th down plays. That's when you hit him. Because now the defense, in my mind, Green Bay was like, they weren't looking for a punt. They're like, oh, they're going to run the ball. And They did. Because they knew this is what he does. No surprises here. We got your stuff, baby.
Yeah, let's get. You want to talk to some callers today, Terry?
Sure.
Because I feel like
Are we
people got to
capable of that?
vent. I feel like people got to vent this out. I mean, last night on the post-game show, like a couple people called in, like, "Hey, can you please convince me that it's not that bad?" It's like they're 8-3.
You know what? I'm a man of the people.
The people.
Let's hit the people at some point.
All right, 313-552-6322 is the phone number. That's 313-552-6322. You want to get to some of this audio that we have from the guys?
Yeah, we can do that.
Why don't you just cue them up, however you want to throw them out there, JB, and tell us what they're about.
So here, I will send you guys first one. This is Dan Campbell on the loss, just reflecting.
Just got to get back to what we do, playing a little more rhythm. And, this isn't something where I want to get into panic mode. I've got some time here to just look at a couple of things, and see where we can get a little more efficient. But at the same time, this is the same team that's been here all year. Offense, defense, Goff's the same quarterback. We clean a couple of things up, and I think we'll get back in a rhythm and be just fine.
And that's what you want out of your leadership, right? I mean, you want a guy that's not going to panic and be a fan with this stuff. You want him just kind of keep going, keep hammering forward, especially when you're 8-3. If he was up there selling snake oil, I think we'd have a different conversation about what's going on right now, right?
Yeah, and he sold snake oil before. He sold it.
With what?
When they were losing, he was selling the snake oil.
No, I mean, he was saying
That's what he's supposed to do.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember Dan Campbell ever coming off as someone trying to bullshit me. Do you? Even when they were losing?
Yes, he's a bullshitter.
You think Dan Campbell's a bullshitter?
He can be a bullshitter, yes. Everybody is a
can
bullshitter.
be, right.
No, he is one. He is a bullshitter sometimes.
When was he a bullshitter?
When they were losing, he was like, we're right there, blah, blah, blah. But, it's the same thing that every coach says. We're a few plays away. To me, that's nothing. That's what every NFL coach. And here's the other thing he does, and this is what every NFL coach does. Every time they lose, it's on me.
Well, that's what leaders do. They take credit during the bad times. They give credit during the winning times.
That is a little coaches speak thing that was started years ago, and everybody does it. They do it so much that I don't believe it. It's like when Dan Campbell is in punt formation, I know he's going for it.
When he first came here, his first press conference was addressing that. Like, listen, y'all heard enough bullshit, and I'm not here for it. Like, he literally addressed that in his first press conference.
And then he bullshitted us.
Like I said, I don't remember ever looking at Dan Campbell and being like, man, that guy's disingenuous.
That's because you love the guy.
I do love the guy.
Okay, so you can't see that.
You want to tell us about Planet Fitness, JB?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I got you here. We tell you all about Planet Fitness because Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this just for $10 a month with no commitment. Now remember, no matter where you are, there's always a Planet Fitness nearby with more than 50 convenient Metro Detroit locations and thousands more throughout the world. Find your local Planet Fitness today to join or visit them online as always at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down the best pet store in Michigan. I know because I take my dog Woody there, and he has a great time walking around. They got locations in Brighton, Beverly Hills, Canton, Detroit, Livonia, Northville, Novi, Riverview, Rochester Hills, Shelby Township, Troy, West Bloomfield, and Westland. So if you want to take care of your pup, do it today. Your cat, your bird, your fish. They even have a turtle walking around. His name is Winston at the one over here in Beverly Hills. So you guys go there, and they got free local delivery within 10 miles. So they got to have you covered. Premier Pet Supply. Welcome back to Ermanni Edwards with Maz. Without Ermanni Edwards or Maz, my name is Stick filling in. That is Terry Foster filling in. We have Kool-Aid in the sound booth. We have JB in the TD booth. JB, you dropped something in the chat, and this has kind of been a hot topic because people just love to blame things instead of just trying to find a solution.
That's why we have a job.
They want to point the problem.
People.
No, I'm here to try to find the solutions. I'm not here to blame people.
Yeah, we're here to blame.
My old boss used to tell me, Terry, it's easy to point out a pile of shit. It's tough to be the one that picks it up. And that's exactly what I feel a lot of people do. They'll tell you what the problem is, but they won't do anything or tell you how to solve it.
I got solutions.
You got solutions?
I got solutions.
Your Jared Goff solution. For the people that want Jared Goff gone, what's your Jared Goff solution? Because Spencer said start Hendon Hooker, who's had like 5 snaps in practice.
Well, first of all, Jared Goff needs bigger hands.
Oh, okay.
But, I think Jared Goff needs to pay closer attention to detail. He needs to be more serious about his craft. I think when he goes back, he got so comfortable that he felt nobody's going to be in my grill, so I can do whatever I want. But no, Jared Goff needs to realize that he's not always going to get a clean pocket. It's not always going to be easy. So he's got to think about the notions of turning the ball over, but still playing freely. Attention to detail. Okay, they could knock this out my hand. Let me focus on that. And I'm hanging on to this rock. I'm throwing it in the right spot. And I know there's going to be adversity.
Have we seen fumbling issues with Jared Goff through the 2 years that he's been here?
No, because he didn't get touched.
Then a one-off, to me, isn't something to panic about.
Wait a minute. When they were losing earlier, he was turning the ball over. Then he stopped doing it.
Welcome to the NFL. You turn the ball over, you lose. I mean, that's part of it.
But he stopped doing it when the line was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
The line was giving him a clean pocket, where he didn't have to worry about being harassed. Now
that's why he's such a good play action passer, because he has so much time.
But now he's being harassed.
Mm-hmm.
But you still, no matter if they blitz you, no matter if they're in your grill, no matter what, you still have to hang on to the rock.
It's interesting to me and almost poetic that the problems on this team mirror each other. One can't get to the quarterback, the other's letting too much pressure to the quarterback right now. And that's what's causing chaos for the Lions.
Right. And you know what the offshoot of that is? The Lions are turning the ball over, and therefore, and on the flip side, the Lions are not getting turnovers. When you lose a turnover battle, you're supposed to lose the game. Chicago Bears, you're -3 on the turnover thing. You're supposed to lose that game.
Oh, no, they did get one. Yeah, -3.
-3. You're supposed to lose that game.
No team had ever won a game being -3 on the turnover, and I believe giving up 40 minutes of possession. Right. No team in the history of the NFL had ever done it.
And the Bears did the one thing I hate the teams do. They went that prevent defense. Jared Goff tore them up.
Well, I think I'd love the Lions to come out in a hurry-up offense just to get some tempo and some rhythm. But the chicken and the egg conversation going on right now in the chat. And this is an interesting conversation. You can tell the chat is split pretty much 50-50, 48% AG, now it's 49% AG, 51% personnel.
Who deserves 50-50.
Now back to 50-50. I mean, who deserves more of the blame for the defensive issues? You talking AG, or does he just not have enough ingredients to cook you a good meal?
Well, if I could vote in that poll, I would go 50-50. I mean, that's pretty legit. The fans, and I think this is legit, the fans were begging to, when there was free agency, when the trade deadline was coming up, trade for a rush in. Trade for someone to pair up with Aiden Hutchinson. Trade for better pressure on that defensive line. And the Lions didn't do that. Now, I have a theory why they didn't do it. The Lions do not want to pay big money.
Thank you.
Right now.
Thank you.
And when they start throwing out that money, it's going to go to Aiden Hutchinson. It's going to go to Aleem McNeil. It's going to go to Jahmyr Gibbs. And that's when they're going to pay the big money. But right now, Brad Holmes is still on a budget. They are still shopping at Walmart. And for the most part, it's worked. They've gotten some great deals, and we praise the guy for the great deals. But at some point, you got to say, okay, we're there. We got to get the credit card out and pay. And the Lions are not willing to do that.
And that's the question I posed to a lot of fans who hated what Brad Holmes didn't do, because I'm not going to say what he did. It's more what he didn't do at the trade deadline. Like, if Brad Holmes thought this team was one player away, don't you think he would have gone and got that player?
He would have, but
it's more than one player.
Let me ask you, do you think they're one player away?
No, I think they're multiple players away. I think anytime, and Neil was talking about it this afternoon, anytime you're dependent on 4 rookies, you have some growing to do as a team. Right. And that's what's happening this year with the Lions. And we talked about the sophomore slump. How about the rookie wall? When your body's not used to playing more than 9 to 12 games a season, and now all of a sudden you're in the NFL taking bigger hits from bigger guys, and you got to play 17 games plus, your body adjusts at a different rate. And I'm not giving excuses to rookies. They are a part of the team. It's a part of this culture, and we're all on the bandwagon when they're doing well. But what's the thing about rookies, Terry? What's one thing that every rookie is?
They do hit that wall.
Inconsistent.
And they're inconsistent, correct. But, I mean, like a guy like Brian Branch. Brian Branch, I praise this dude every single game. He's kind of disappearing a little bit. And even in the Bears game where he made some big plays, he also made 2 or 3 penalties, which extended drives. So that could be him being a little bit lazy, being a little bit hitting that wall, and I'm not quite what I was before. Every rookie hits a wall.
Yeah. I mean, we're human. Right. That's one thing I think a lot of people forget about these guys, too, is that they're human. And, 3 games in 11 days wears on you. And you kind of saw a sluggish team. That's what, watching the team yesterday, I did not recognize that team. And that's where I kind of that's where I can disconnect myself from getting too angry. Because that's not what they've been presenting over the course of the year.
That's true.
But that was a bad team
Is
yesterday.
Green Bay a young team?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a young team. Did they play 3 games in 11 days?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they have to go through the same thing.
I get it.
So why did Green Bay come in? And here's the other thing Green Bay had a disadvantage. during the holiday, had to get on that plane, then go to Detroit, check in the hotel, do all that stuff. Lions are chilling at home. So Green Bay had to do the same thing plus more, but came in with fire coming out of their noses.
Yeah, and Lions weren't ready. And that's fair. And as long as that's a one-game thing and you can package it, watch the tape, learn from it, and not repeat it, not a big deal. Now, next week, if you get your ass kicked by the Saints, now we can talk about, wow, this team is nowhere near what we thought they were.
Right. Remember how the back half of the season was so easy?
Oh, the easiest schedule.
Now it doesn't seem so easy. Now, next after this loss, they have to go to New Orleans. They have to play Minnesota twice, who's better than they were before. Now, all of a sudden, Denver is a functional team. You have to go to Dallas. Now the back end of the schedule seems just a little bit, a lot tougher than it was like a couple weeks ago. Because the Lions are vulnerable, and some of these teams are moving up.
Kool-Aid, we got somebody on the phone?
We do. We got a Salty from White Pigeon, man.
Hey, he called last night.
Yeah.
He called last night on the postgame show. Salty from White Pigeon, which I learned is by Kalamazoo yesterday.
Okay.
What's going on, Salty?
What up, y'all? How we doing?
Good. Now that you're a couple hours removed from yesterday, has your opinion changed on it, or how you feeling?
Well, here's one thing I just want to remind you guys, right? You guys are giving a lot, we're making a lot of excuses for the players and bringing, the human side of it and things, which is okay. But I want you guys to understand this about the fans and this fanhood of this team, this franchise. We have one playoff win since 1957. One. Okay? So don't blame the fans for being, you're such a horrible fan for calling this guy so bad. And one playoff win, guys? Are you kidding me? There's teams that win 4 playoff games a year to get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. We have one. So it's not the fans. Don't blame us. Okay? Another thing that I want you guys to understand, too. This franchise deserves the right to have a rookie quarterback contract, man. We do. We shouldn't be paying guys $50 million a year to do anything on our team. We need victories, guys. So,
and you think Hooker's the guy that's going to get you those victories?
And if it ain't Hooker, guess what? At the end of his contract, you do it again. You hit the quarterback draft market. You look at what the Bengals did. Look at what the Bills did. Look at what the Ravens did. All these young quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes. Look in our division, guys. We got Jordan Love and we got Fields. The Vikings are probably going to get a rookie quarterback too.
So you still think Fields is a good quarterback? You think Fields was the answer in Chicago?
I do.
I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm saying
he's a rookie. They're on a rookie quarterback contract. And Jordan Love is about to re-sign because they played out his entire rookie contract with him on the bench.
The Packers are a mess. But all I'm saying is, when you have a rookie quarterback contract on your books, you can go out like the Bears did and sign 3 top-tier defenders.
Yeah, but the Bears are 3-8.
I understand that, man.
So why are we chasing a losing team?
I'm not saying chasing them. I'm saying the fact that we need a defense. You agree, right?
I agree.
And you're saying, like, it was one game and move on. Well, the Bears beat our ass last week, too. Okay? We got lucky against the Bears. They beat our ass, man. So we have to realize we got to get better. And
you think they beat our ass because of Justin Fields, the guy who threw for 176 yards?
They came in Detroit and hit us in the mouth. If it was any other franchise, they would have not been throwing Hail Marys trying to run out the clock, and we would have lost that game.
Yeah, but we could sit here and play the if game. Okay, well, yesterday, if Jared Goff hits a bunch of passes, they win, and now we're 9-2, and everybody's happy.
So
if we're doing the ifs, we can do that.
We got our butt whooped against Chicago. We barely beat a losing team.
But you beat them. Right?
I understand that. But you came out the next week and did what? You lost to a losing team at home again, right?
You've lost.
So, yeah, that's 2 games record, not just one.
So you're 1-1 in those 2 games. You're 2-1.
I understand that. I get that.
In the past 3.
Explaining,
but Salty, you're
not going to get better.
Like they've lost 2 games.
Right.
No, physically, mentally. Do you think the Lions team thinks that we really whooped Chicago? No.
Whoop is the wrong word, but defeated, yes. In the National Football League, your job is to win a game, whether it's by 1 point or 2 points. Look at what's happening this year. Almost 70% of games are one-score games. That's the league.
It's designed that way. That's why they have the salary cap. It's designed around parity. They want that in the NFL. They don't want they don't want what the Cowboys have been doing the past 4 weeks. They don't want what the Lions were doing earlier in the season, beating everybody by 15 points. So, I get it. I understand. Who's the rookie quarterback you think's going to take this team and be better than Jared Goff?
Well, I'm not even saying it's got. I don't see into the future into a little crystal ball here. Okay, all I'm saying is the fact that a rookie quarterback contract frees up money for you to extend Jonah Jackson, go out and get an end, go get a real corner, not Jerry Jacobs who gets burnt for 400 yards a game. And then we're blaming AG. It's cool to blame your coordinators. Bad teams do that. We've done that. It's common here. What I'm saying is, when you give the ball to the other team on your 25-yard line because it's a fake punt or your quarterback can't move 2 inches or fumbles the ball, that ain't the defensive coordinator's problem. He's trying to – literally, the reason we won the Bears game was because our defense allowed, 3 points on his turnovers, on Goff's turnovers? That's an accomplishment. We should praise AG for that.
No, that's true. I am tired of when the Lions defense is good, you don't hear AG's name. But as soon as they have a bad game, fire AG.
Same thing with Goff. You don't hear shit when he's captaining the top 5 offense in the league, but as soon as he has 2 bad games, the guy could never get us there. That's what's frustrating, man. It's the same people that won't use the same logic to apply it to the same shit. We got to let you go. We got to get to break right now. JB, why don't you tell us about Hamlin Pub?
Oh, I got you. Hey, have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? Well, we have just a place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on Thursdays or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place to be. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey, how would you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in a city that never sleeps. It's the Centron Energy Drink It and Live It sweepstakes. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. Register at drinkcentron.com/Vegas and buy Centron at your local Meijer store. It's Centron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. Look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself. Once again, that website, drinkcentron.com/Vegas.
And welcome back to Ermanni Edwards with Maz. My name is Stick filling in. That is Terry Foster. That is JB that you just heard from. And, of course, Kool-Aid is here holding down the phones. 313-552-6322. Let's get some overreactions on the phone. But I do like this. ADiz411 put in the chat. Instead of Ermanni Edwards and Maz, we can call this 3 brothers and a stick.
There you go. I'm all for it.
I appreciate that.
Or as I call it, the final word.
The final word? Is that what when we're on? Is that what it's called?
Well, that's what I call this show. It's just kind of a joke.
What's
But anyway, three brothers in a stick.
Three brothers in a stick. Give us a call, 313-552-6322. But leave that whack-ass opinion at home. All right, the chat's still going on. It's actually swayed to AG right now, voting who's more to blame, AG or the personnel. And honestly, if you're blaming the personnel, isn't that kind of personnel/Brad Holmes?
Yeah, it is. It is, because Brad Holmes had an opportunity to add to this defense, particularly the defensive line. But the Lions didn't want to pay money. They knew if they signed, if they traded for any of these linemen, the linemen wouldn't come unless they were guaranteed a significant raise. And I think people are looking at it the wrong way. They say, well, all the Lions had to give up
Was a third-round pick.
was a third-round
A conditional.
pick. A conditional. But that's not what they're looking at.
Right.
They're looking at, we have to pay this guy $24 million a year, and we're not willing to do that.
Or we give him the third round, and we get him for maybe 8 games.
Correct.
So it's a third-round rookie contract, which we just had a callers talking about rookie contracts and how valuable they are for a team. Is that worth it for 9 games?
Here's what I think happened. The Lions were told, yeah, you can get whoever you want. You can get Chase Young for a third-round pick. The Lions and Chase Young probably had some backdoor conversations. Chase Young was telling, hey, look, I want $24 million. Are you going to pay that? And the Lions probably said no. And then Chase Young called his agent and said, hey, they can trade for me, but I'm going to be a difficult guy around there.
So wait, you're telling me culture matters?
No, I'm saying money matters. Lions didn't want to pay that $24 million.
But you also don't want to bring in a guy that you already know you're pissing off, right?
Well, you're pissing him off, but he's also telling you, I'm not staying
Right.
unless you pay me.
And is he going to put his career on the line for you, which these NFL players have to do every week?
I think the answer to that would be no.
So, I mean, that's another reason. It's like, this isn't Madden where you just punch in, I want to trade this guy for this guy, and then you move on, right? That's not how it works. There's salary cap implications. There's players and what they want if they fit the scheme. Like, there's just a lot more that goes into it. And I'm not one to doubt Brad Holmes. I don't think I'm smarter than Brad Holmes. In fact, Brad Holmes has proven to be smarter than me for many years now. So he has that benefit of the doubt in my eyes, that if he thinks this isn't the year, if he thinks it wasn't one player away from making the difference, then he's not going to go get that one player as a rental. They're trying to build something
you
here.
know what could have happened if you're not willing to put your life on the line because you know you're not going to stay with this team because they don't want to pay you? We could be sitting around here saying, okay, they got Chase Young. I thought he was better than this. What happened?
Yep. Yeah, why is Chase Young only playing 50%?
Right.
Yeah. No, and you hope when you sign a guy and give him money or even trade for him that he honors the contract that he signed originally, but that's not how it works in professional sports. These athletes now understand it's a business. They make a lot of money, and it's different.
You know what happens in the NFL way too often? You either trade for a big-name veteran or you sign him as a free agent, and what you end up doing is you pay him for what he did for the previous team, and you're not getting anything for this guy.
Yeah. That being said, it would be nice to see what Chase Young looked like in a Lions uniform. I mean, the fantasy version of what this could be, fantasy football version.
Passed too.
You would have passed on him?
Yes.
Yeah. Long term, I don't think it's a solution. I think that's an immediate. If you think this is the year and you got to push all your chips in, you do that. You saw the Rams do it, fuck themselves for the long future, but you saw them do it and get their Super Bowl.
Right.
So, would you rather have that one shining moment or?
If you can get a championship, yes.
Go get it.
Beg, borrow, steal, do whatever you got to do. The Los Angeles Rams, no matter what the Lions do, won that trade because they got a Super Bowl trophy.
Even if the Lions win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, off of those picks, with Jared Goff at
they
quarterback,
won a Super Bowl. No, if the Lions win multiple Super Bowls, then you can say, it worked. How about it worked both ways?
I think it's one of the trades in the NFL that I've seen that has worked out well for both teams, exceptionally well for LA, and it's story's yet to be written for the Lions, but I think sitting here at 8-3 isn't where we'd be if we held on with Matthew Stafford.
Correct. And 16-4 the last 20 games.
Man.
So,
but wait, Terry, they lost a divisional game for the first time in
know.
over 365 days. This team is awful.
That's right.
They lost a divisional game, Terry. Oh, my God. They're 8-3. That's horrible.
And if you are
Need a new quarterback.
If you're not a let me put it this. If you're not a stupid Lion fan, you look at the future and say, you know what? The future is bright here, too.
What? No, Terry. Terry, how can the future be bright? They just lost their first divisional game in over a year.
Hey, I guess I don't know what's happening, bro.
Yeah,
Educate me.
This is the first time they've lost to the Packers in 5 games. Do you know how awful this franchise is doing?
Right.
You know how bad that is to be 4-1 against the Packers in the last 5 games?
Right.
It's horrible. It's horrible. This team, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to start Hendon Hooker.
You know what we should do? Let's have a boycott of Ford Field.
We should. Millen March, Part 3. Let's do it again. You know, I feel like Matt Patricia's coaching the team again the way they're playing right now. They're 8-3, and I can't stand it.
Can we have the Brad Holmes man march?
Yeah, Brad Holmes didn't get me the pick I wanted. He didn't go trade a 3rd rounder for Chase Young. Worst GM ever. Why is this guy even still the GM?
I know. We have
Sheila, fire him.
Dude, we have to have the Brad Homie man march.
Okay.
Get his ass out of here.
Everybody in ski masks?
Yes.
Yeah. Just get them all out. I mean, if we're going to overreact, let's do it. Dan Campbell can't coach. He made a bad decision in the game. He can't coach. What they've built means nothing to me. What these past 3 years have culminated to right now, I would rather be 3-13. You know why? Because at least I expected them to lose. God, it just drives me insane.
And here's something you won't say. Are Lion fans a little bit stupid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes back to that Men in Black saying, you know, a person's smart, people are stupid.
Right.
And you get into this mob mentality and then you just forget what you were. That's why I was so pissed off when they fired Jim Caldwell, and we can get in the Caldwell debate. But when Sheila said that 9-8 wasn't good enough, or 9-7 wasn't good enough, I was like, who the fuck do we think we are? We're the Lions. 9-7 is amazing. That's the best that we've experienced. Like that's what baffled me about that statement. 9-7 was great for the Lions. In the scheme of things, do you want better? Of course you do. But when that's your floor, that was living good for Lions fans when Jim Caldwell was here.
Yeah, Jim Caldwell, the biggest problem with him is he had nincompoop for a general manager. So technically there was no way for Jim Caldwell to succeed here because the guy doing the grocery shopping didn't know what he was talking about.
Yep. Kool-Aid, we got more people on the phone?
Yes, we do.
Who we got?
Hey, we got Chad calling all the way from California, man.
Hey, California. How they talking about the Lions in California this morning?
They're not.
What up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, yeah, I'll be honest, man. The talk about the Lions in California hasn't changed much. Whether we win 8 games or lose them, everybody's talking about us like we're fakers, man. But main point I wanted to call in about today is based on the trade deadline and whether we were one player away. I definitely think that Chase Young would have made us probably a top Super Bowl contender, you know, going for the 1 seed. The way I see it is if you're half a game out of the 1 seed in playoff contention for a team that has won 1 playoff game, you know, been forever, never won the division, you go for it. Everything, balls to the wall. We should have made trades for whatever weaknesses the roster has, just in my opinion.
Yeah, so how much are you willing to sacrifice your future for this year? All
you
in?
Want the truth, man?
Yeah,
as a Lions fan,
yeah.
As a Lions fan coming from Niner country, I'm sacrificing 2 first-round picks to bring in, not Chase Young, you know, that definitely wouldn't happen, but 2 first-round picks to bring in whatever player I think can move a mountain and take the edge off this team. I, in my personal opinion, with my football experience, the DBs are suffering because we can't get to a quarterback in the pocket.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
More pressure is cutting down those passing lanes, cutting down the time of plays. You can't expect a guy to be out there covering for 5 seconds every play for an entire game, 3 or 4 games in a row, without getting cooked. You know what I'm saying? This isn't It's not like it's a one-off these last 2 games. These issues have been compounded since the Baltimore game. I think that Baltimore exposed a lot of the flaws and, the tendencies of our offense and defense, and teams are keying in on that now. With the trade deadline, you cut down the time that a quarterback has to read, make decisions. Our corners, Jerry Jacobs, everybody piling on him. He's an undrafted rookie free agent. Not a rookie anymore, but he was. And the dude played. He balled out. You know what I'm saying? He was at one point the leader on this defense in takeaways. He was this year's Kirby Joseph at one point. I just think that, where I'm coming from, when you're a franchise that's been beaten down this low with such little success, and I can tell you here in California, I have never told anybody I was a Detroit fan without immediately hearing laughter. You go for it. It'd be different if we had been there before, but dude, we never won the division. You're a game outside of the 1 seed in the NFC.
So you're in San Francisco 49ers territory? Is that where you are?
Yeah.
Okay, and San Francisco is super aggressive, right? Last year they go out and get Christian McCaffrey, but did they win a Super Bowl last year? No. So that really didn't push them over the top, even though they went out and got Christian McCaffrey, who's a great running back. We saw it on display last night. This year, what do? They go out and get Chase Young. And also, what else did they do? Because we had a caller talking about rookie contracts. They trade away 3 first-round picks and go draft Trey Lance. Now,
man, but that was just stupid, though. I mean, come on. That's
the thing.
That would be ridiculous.
And that's my point. Aggressive is awesome until it's not. Right? It's awesome when you land a Christian McCaffrey and it works out. Right. It's awesome when you could go get a Chase Young and he's okay. But when you're aggressive and it doesn't work out, they may have crippled their franchise 4 or 5 years from now by trying to be too aggressive and thinking, Jimmy G wasn't the answer. We needed that rookie phenom quarterback to push us over the top, and it cost them more than anything else. And I just don't want Brad Holmes to get that blindsided.
There's a saying in the NFL.
I trust Brad Holmes.
There's a saying in the NFL.
I absolutely trust Brad Holmes, man, and I think that in trusting his evaluation, he was a pass rusher. It'd be different. They're different needs. I get what you're saying about the McCaffrey thing, but it's not like we need offense. We need a pass rusher, which is one of the most integral positions in the game today with as much passing that's going on. If we traded for a running back, I would have lost my mind. You know what I'm saying? But bringing in that pass rusher would have, in my opinion, been the difference between us arguing about whether or not we can even contend in a playoff game and being a Super Bowl contender. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but being a fan this long, I'm giving up everything. We went through 10-year stretches of being irrelevant. I would go through it again if it was the cost of a Super Bowl, bro.
This is why the new money thing pops into my head, man. Like it's like, I made it by taking a risk. I'm going to continue to take risks. It's like, no, you got to remember how you got here. And I think what we're forgetting is you got here by building through the draft. You got here by fixing the salary cap. You got here by putting players that fit your system. You didn't get here by panicking and throwing away assets. And that's where I don't want to go. And that's what scares me right now.
And they still have to bring in a multitude of players, in my mind, to be a Super Bowl team. And most of these guys are going to be young. And you're going to have to wait them out. Now, to Chase Young, are you one player away? No. But on the flip side, if you bring him in, then that makes you closer to the finished product.
You're one player closer.
But
you're also a lot more in debt financially.
No, that's true. And this might be an organizational thing. The Lions have always been reluctant to pay that big contract to someone who's not a Detroit Lion. And so I think Brad Holmes had his hands tied. He couldn't just make the trade. He could offer a 3rd round or a 2nd round pick or even a 1st round pick. But if the organization is saying, well, we're not going to pay him, then what's the point?
Exactly. We got to take a quick break. We got more AG comments. We got more Lions talk. I want to talk to more people, too, as they call it. I think the callers are making some great points today. And a lot of people, I think, are frustrated with what they saw. I'm frustrated with what I saw yesterday. Mostly what I'm frustrated is finally a Thanksgiving where you could be proud to put on the Lions around your family. And I'm sure your drunk uncle just said the same shit he says for the last 7 years. Why do you even have them on TV? I just hate that. I want that to go away, Terry. And you know what? Feldman Chevrolet can make your crappy car go away. If you got a car that you want to get rid of, hey, take it to Feldman Chevrolet. Trade it in, and they will get you the best deal to get into the best brand new car for you. We do the live broadcasts out there every other Monday in Novi, but Feldman has dealerships all over the place. But hit up that one in Novi right now. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Co. Not only did they hook up Woodward Sports with an awesome trailer so we could take all of our live broadcast equipment all over Detroit, they got everything that you need, especially with the snow coming. It's supposed to snow this damn weekend around the Great Lakes. Why not get something that can shovel your entire driveway, and you can get something that can clear an entire parking lot for them. Everything you need for outdoor, outdoorequipco.com.
There again, the easy thing is to get in panic mode, and I know what it looks like, and it wasn't good enough out there, but I'm not panicked. We got the right guys here. We know how to play. We got to clean some things up, and we'll have 6 to go when we get back. And the fight's on, man. I mean, I think there's going to be some cruise control. We're going to have to fight and scratch and fight and claw for everything, man. We have to. That's the type of team we are. That's where we're at.
The one thing that stood out to me is how he ended that. That's where we're at. We're going to have to fight and claw for everything. That's where we're at. So, to me, that shows you that Dan Campbell knows this isn't the finished product of what the Detroit Lions are going to look like down the road, but they're the best version of what they have right now.
And he's also kind of hinting they're going to make some adjustments. And whether it's blitzing more, whether it's things to do with the offensive line, whether it's coaching Jared Goff in a different way, they're going to change the makeup of this team. So by the middle of December, you may not recognize the Detroit Lions. It'll be something totally different.
And isn't that it may not be necessarily a good thing, but isn't the point of all of this regular season to start playing your best football going into the playoffs?
Yes.
So would you rather see them tripping over their feet now or week 15, 16, 17, 18?
Or did they peak? Are they incapable of being the best that they can be from this point forward?
That means they already played their best football, right? If they've peaked.
That's a concern.
Yeah.
So if you've already played your best football, it means you're going to stumble down the rest of the regular season. You'll probably get blasted in the first round of the playoffs, and nobody wants to see that.
No, and I don't want to see them back into the playoffs either. But I just... the way Dan Campbell spoke there, you could just tell, like, hey, we're getting the best out of what we have right now. Is it where we want it to be? No. But are we going to work on it? Yes. And am I panicking? No. But I understand what it looks like. I liked how he said that. I understand what it looks like. And that's where we as fans need to take a step back, that what we see is maybe, 5% of what's actually going on the team? We watch them game day. We don't watch them day in, day out in practice. We don't watch them in the locker room. We don't watch the game planning. We just see the product at game day and make a bunch of assumptions of what's really going on.
That's true. But you know what fans is short for?
Fanatic.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not going to think rationally. Two things. Fans don't think rationally. B, they don't know everything that's going on in the locker room. They don't know the players. They don't know. We don't really know Dan Campbell. We think we do, but we don't. We don't know Jared Goff. We don't know Jahmyr Gibbs. We think we do because we see little press clippings. We see their quotes. We see them play and everything, but we don't really know what's going on. Now, there was another incident during the Packers game. There was a big fight on the sidelines.
With LaFleur?
No, it was on
when
the
he ran into the
sideline.
security guard.
Oh, Kirby.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, Kirby Joseph and C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Dre Bly got into it.
Really?
Yes. I saw it on Twitter today. There was someone who has
See
a
if you
podcast.
can find that video, JB.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
Yeah, and find out who did it because I want to give the guy credit, but I forget who it was. But there was a video of the discussion or the heated argument. Now, here's what I've been told. Don't pay attention to what happens on the sideline during an NFL game. Each game has 3 to 5 eruptions during the game because everybody's all gassed up and they're ready to go. There's going to be some fights. So if you take these fights and say, oh, there's friction in the locker room, most of the time you're going to be wrong because an NFL game has so much passion and anxiety within it that there's going to be 3 to 5 blow-ups on the sideline every game.
And I'd say this too, just knowing like how men operate, you're not gonna go get in somebody's face that you don't expect more out of and like respect. You know what I mean? In those situations when you're teammates, like if I expected you to blow coverage, I'm not gonna yell at you because you blew a coverage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a good accountability thing. You never know what to read from those situations when you're 100 feet away. You really don't know what they're saying, what they're talking about. I didn't hear about this till just now. But some friction's nice. That was one of my knocks on Matthew Stafford when he was here. I didn't see him get fired up enough on the sidelines when the Lions were sucking. You know, it was more just
that was like every Lion quarterback.
Yeah.
Scott Mitchell, Matthew Stafford, Rodney Peete, Eric Kramer. You just go down the line. It was like everything's okay. We'll just do it. And Jared Goff is a little bit like that. He doesn't play like that all the time because he does have some. He does play with anger sometimes.
I've seen that out of Goff, and I like that out of Goff.
But on the sideline and around us, he's just like some dude.
Yeah, he's made some smart-ass comments, though, to people coming at him, you know. I've seen him in some post-game when they're talking about the national narrative, and he's like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. And I like that attitude. Like, I'm not worried about what these idiots are saying about me. I'm out here to do my business.
Not called anyone an idiot.
That's what he implied, though. That's what he implied. JB, did you find that video?
No, so I'm still looking for it right now, but we still got some other videos.
Yeah, let's get to those. Let's get to Sam Laporta talking about this.
Yeah, I'll play all these Sam Laporta ones. They're pretty short, so I'll just play them back to back for you guys.
Okay.
It's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, when you see the opportunity and you realize that you had it, and unfortunately you didn't capitalize on it, it stings a little bit. Every game is tough. There's great players on every team. It doesn't matter the record. It doesn't matter if you're playing on Thursday, Sunday, Monday. You can really throw all those things out the window. If you don't show up, be really detail-oriented and give your best effort, then you're not going to have a chance. We're coming down the home stretch. We're looking to play our best football in December coming up. And, of course, a lot more division opponents as well. We got Minnesota twice still, Chicago again. So we're looking forward to those opportunities. We just got to capitalize on it.
Sam Laporta seemed pretty measured there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not getting too high. He's not getting too low on himself. Do you expect to see more angst out of a player like we were kind of talking? Would you like to see more fire out of him in that interview? Or how hard is it to get those guys fired up when you're in the locker room like that? You've been in plenty of locker rooms interviewing guys.
Yeah, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, it'd be interesting to see what his reaction would be if he was in that locker room. But I think they've already heard from Dan Campbell. He's already addressed them, who basically told them after the game, put this behind you, go enjoy your family, We're okay. We're going to figure this out. So now, if Dan Campbell had gone in front of the team, ranting and raving, you would have seen a different reaction from the players. But he's telling them, guys, it's still cool. We still got a shot. We're not that bad.
And you think that's bullshit?
No, I don't think that's bullshit.
Okay.
But he's a bullshitter. He is. But, you know, a lot of times you're a reflection of your coach.
Yes, and thank God we are.
In a situation like this, you don't need the house is on fire, what are we going to do about it? Not with this team. Some teams react well to that, but I think now what you have to do is say, we 8-3. We still good. So what's up, bro?
Can you play the first clip you played again, JB?
Yeah.
Because I think this is where he said what I wanted to talk about.
It's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, when you see the opportunity and you realize that you had it, and unfortunately you didn't capitalize on it, it stings a little bit.
These guys believe they could have won that game.
If the coach doesn't make a bonehead play.
You think that's the main call?
That was the key right there.
That's what I said in the post-game show. The two biggest plays in the game, one was before the game and one was during the game. The coin flip, because them getting the ball first, getting ahead, changed the entire trajectory of that entire game and how the fans were reacting and, you know, just the energy of it. And then that play by Dan Campbell.
Yeah, but
because the defense had played well for a little bit. They had given up the opening drive, and it looked awful there. They had like 3 or 4 holds in a row, I think only letting up 1 field goal. And then you just hand them a touchdown. Just hand it to them.
Yeah, but the Packers are going to get the first drive anyway. I'm sure the Lions would have said, hey, let's get that 2-for-1 at the end of the
And they need to stop doing that. They need to stop. Like, I've never been a fan of deferring. I get the whole Tom Brady was great at it, but not everybody's Tom Brady. You know, like, well, we could get 2 possessions back to back.
70% of teams defer.
That's great. That doesn't mean if my defense is ranked 26 and my offense is ranked 5th, who do I want to put on the field first?
You want that 7-0 lead.
Thank you.
Or even at least 3-0.
Thank you. Exactly. So, like, even though everybody else is doing it, that doesn't mean little Johnny over here has to do it because he's got a little different game plan coming in.
Right.
If you're a more balanced team or you're defense heavy, hell yeah, I'm going to make you waste your first possession against my number 1 defense. But no, when you're the Detroit Lions and your strength is your offense, you need to put your biggest weapon on the field first.
I like that.
So that's what I would do. Kool-Aid, you got anybody over there?
Hey, we do. I got Derek from San Antonio. What up, though, Derek?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Derek? How you doing today?
Hey, doing well. Trying to keep it real, keep it realistic as a fan down here, man.
So, what you feeling after yesterday?
You know, you definitely want to see them win a Thanksgiving game. I've been around for a while. They used to win on those days, so I remember those. I remember seeing Mary back in the Dome on Thanksgiving. But it is what it is. So at the end of the day, you're 8-3, which is still exactly where a lot of people prior to the season started were hoping where we would be. The problem is the games that we did lose were the teams that we thought we were going to beat, and we beat teams that we thought we were going to lose to. You know, I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, you beat KC, then you come back and you lose the overtime against Seattle. And everybody's like, oh, no, we should beat Seattle because of last year. You come off the bye, you're traveling out west. Who knows how this Chargers game, that's going to be a hard game. And we beat it. It was a high shootout game, but you win it. You know what I mean? And then after we've been thrashing Green Bay for so long, we kind of just lumped it aside. I think what the team really needs to do in Dan Campbell, I mean, great coach. I love the direction this team's going. They're definitely more than one player away, though. I think Dan's still a little bit younger in his coaching. I think he still struggles on preparing on the short week. And it's tough because they had a lot of stuff they needed to clean up after that Chicago game. But a win's a win, but they still had stuff to clean up. You didn't really have the time to do that. And on top of it, it's a holiday weekend. I kind of think that being the home team there isn't necessarily an advantage. You know, you guys travel a lot for, you know, your previous work and stuff. There's something about being on the road. You're away from distractions, and even if it's 24 hours prior, that allows
Now,
you
let
to
me
focus a
disagree
lot
with you on
deeper.
that. Sometimes it is better to be on the road, but not with this quick of a turnaround, because you play Sunday, and basically you're looking to get out of there Wednesday, but you don't have time to practice. You don't have as much time to prepare. It's a huge advantage for the home team. A home team usually wins it, except for Detroit.
I think you're right in most circumstances, Terry. Other than it's Thanksgiving, man. Like, you're at the house, people are preparing for Thanksgiving. Even though, like, you got a job to do, you still get pulled into that a little bit more than you would on a typical short week.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather have my turkey from Mama rather than my turkey from the Marriott Hotel.
Yeah, but I get his point. You know,
It's
when
gonna be
you're
undercooked.
playing in a big game in your home stadium, people are asking for tickets. You know, you got to meet up with the family afterwards, and I can see what he's saying, that there could be some more distractions when you're home than on the road. On the road, you can be laser focused. I got to go to the hotel room, eat some turkey, show up to the ball game.
Okay, that's a real weak excuse. Why do the home team win more games than the road team?
I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just saying it could happen. It could happen.
Well, anything could happen.
That's right. You know what could happen? You could go to Lady Jane's and get a wicked awesome haircut with locations all over Metro Detroit. Do you have football on the brain? Let's see here. Oh, wait. No, what's up? Did I skip it, JB? Is this Mark? You know, so here's the deal, people. It says Mark on here. Like, this is the Swiss insurance read. But as you can see, it's sent by someone from Lady Jane. So Lady Jane's is at the top. I got confused.
It's a Swiss read, though.
If you make mistakes like me, you need good insurance. Swiss Insurance Group is where you need to go. Mark, he will take care of you, and they can take care of your boat, your car, whatever you need, your backup quarterback's ACL, they can take care of that. Mark at Swiss Insurance, SwissINS.com. That's Mark at SwissINS.com. Shoot him an email. Gotta fix
Stop
this.
searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort Dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey, you want to party before every Detroit Lions home game downtown? You know where we're going to be. We're going to be at the Bullseye Event Group Party. Shed number 5 is where it goes down. Live broadcast going on, plus a ton of partying with long drink. You want to get that VIP tailgate experience? Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com or shoot us a DM on any of our social media platforms and ask for your Lions VIP. Bullseye Event Group. Come party with us for Lions home games. Welcome back to Ermanni Edwards with Maz right here on Woodward Sports, or what was it? 3 Brothers and a Stick?
Three brothers and a stick.
3 Brothers and a Stick, filling in on this beautiful Black Friday. Oh, there we go.
Bam.
Bam. 3 Brothers and a Stick on Black Friday.
Hey, you know what? We're a great deal, too. So you're
bargain.
getting great deals here.
Yeah, this is a bargain. I mean, super talented.
And you know what else you got today? Free parking.
Free parking?
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Did you go shopping on Black Friday at all, Terry?
I used to.
Did you?
When I was younger.
Did you ever knock someone over trying to get a TV?
Never.
Come on, I can see you punch an old lady in the face.
The only thing I did silly on Black Friday was spend the night outside of a GameStop because my kids wanted a Wii. And they said they had 25 Wiis there, and when I went there, I got number 30. So here's what an optimist I am. I'm thinking, hey, 5 or 6 people might be here. They don't want a Wii. So I'm still going to get my Wii with ticket number 30. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
He said, hey, if you were here 5 numbers ago, you could have got one, but you weren't. So bye.
Shut your ass out.
But I did buy one in a parking lot, but it wasn't on Black Friday.
From a guy that just held open his coat like this. Y'all want Wii's? Y'all want PlayStations?
No. He worked at GameStop. He
said
one
fell off the truck.
He would reserve one for me.
Yep.
And I got it at cost.
Kool-Aid, you ever done anything on Black Friday?
I have, actually. Very, very similar to Terry's story, man. Look, in college, when the Xbox, I think the One came out, man, and I was in Maryland at the time, waited outside that Xbox, that GameStop forever, man, for an Xbox One. I actually did get it. I didn't have to go and buy it from no shady dealers or anything like that. The cool thing, though, they had DJs out there, and they gave us all free Chick-fil-A. So,
that's a great deal.
What about you, JB?
So I was the one working in retail at 2 different spots. So I was the one kind of keeping guard of all the PlayStations and the Xbox. So I didn't give the opportunity to get out there, fight somebody for one.
Yeah,
so.
right. JB's the guy that Terry met in the parking lot.
JB, I mean,
I thought you looked familiar.
Hey, if somebody tries to steal an Xbox, are you there to kick their ass and tell them not to, or you just let them steal it?
Oh, no, I just let them take it. Hey,
okay.
It's not my money, all right? So, yeah, if you want it, it's on you.
Happy Black Friday to everybody. Hopefully you're saving money. And this is probably my favorite comment I've ever seen in the chat.
Ever.
Oh,
I can't wait for this.
Sticks positivity towards this franchise is literal poison.
Jeez.
I was going to be nicer than that and say your positivity makes you howdy doody.
That's fine. You can call me whatever you want. I'll take it. I've taken it while the Lions were shit. You think I'm going to hear it when the Lions are 8-3? That is how sad Lions fans are. If you're positive, you're poison.
Yeah, but you know what, bro?
8-3, and I'm poisonous because I'm positive.
Honey bun, what have you been in an abusive marriage?
When I have?
I'm just saying, in general, somebody's been in an abusive marriage. They're always going to be worried. They're always going to say, even if things are going great, this.
I get it. Then go to a fucking therapist and work out your issues.
Well, that's what you're here for. You're the therapist, and they're trying to work out their issues.
But wait, Terry, my positivity is poisonous.
Well, you're a bad therapist.
Because I don't give you your bullshit excuses. That is so crazy. So I'll just sit up here and I'll be next. Hey, I'll go back to it. Sell the team. Martha doesn't, Sheila doesn't know what she's doing. Chris Spielman's never played football. He doesn't know what he's doing. Brad Holmes can't draft to save his fucking life. I don't even know why he's still the GM. I mean, if he was smarter, he would have drafted Jalen Carter and not Jameer Gibbs and Laporta. I don't know, man. I can't sit in the mirror and think that way. My brain's not wired.
Nobody is thinking that way. That's you giving up.
Yes, they are. No.
Don't give up. Don't give up, young man.
I'll never give up. Listen, if I can fend off idiots when they're a losing franchise, you don't think I can when they're a winning franchise? This is what I've been waiting for. All the years of calling me an idiot for being positive when they sucked, that makes sense. Being positive when they're good, that makes no sense. That just shows you know nothing about football or life.
What I mean by don't give up, I'm not saying don't give up on the franchise. Don't give up on the people.
The people.
The peeps.
I'm not giving up on them, but I know these same motherfuckers will be at the parade shirts off like, I never stopped believing.
Yeah, you'll get plenty of that.
I did it the whole time. I knew it. Dan Campbell's great. Like, they're the same people that'll act like they predicted it.
Right. And when the Lions win this division, you know what you're going to see if you go to Ford Field? You're going to see people jumping into some of the fountains downtown. because they're going to be so happy.
It's going to be these same idiots.
Yeah, and some of these idiots might jump into the Detroit River and drown themselves.
Did you see what AI projected if Detroit wins the Super Bowl? Did you see those pictures?
Yeah, I saw those pictures.
Pull up my tweet if you can, man. Did you see this, Terry Foster?
I did not see this.
So AI generated what it would look like if the Detroit Lions won a Super Bowl. And it is absolute chaos. And like the more you look at these pictures, it just gets more and more chaotic and absolutely insane.
Are there going to be any topless women down there? Did they have that on AI?
You don't want to zoom in on these people. That's all I want to say. They look like zombies from The Walking Dead if you zoom in on their faces. Like this is... You got those, JB?
Yeah, I'm grabbing them right now.
No, if the Lions win the Super Bowl, I'm sorry, ladies, somebody's got to go topless downtown. That's an order.
You heard it here first on Woodward Sports with Terry Foster, ladies.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
But sometimes the wrong ladies may hear that message. Or are you just looking for any ladies? Because have you been out to Jobby Nooner? You been out to Jobby Nooner?
I've never been.
Because there's some ladies that go topless out there that I would prefer had not.
Unnecessary.
I just gotta be
Somebody
honest.
out there got to be listening to the show.
I'm sure all the wrong ones will take their bras off.
It's never like when you go to a nudist colony, you're like, oh, sweet, and it's all just dudes with their shriveled penises. Like, that's not where I wanted to be. This isn't the Eden I had imagined. Like, this isn't the grotto. Well, look at there's one photo, a big inflatable lion drinking a carton of milk,
and a bunch of dudes in the water.
Yeah, this is probably
look at this. We lit the river on fire.
Yeah, there's also this.
And if you look, this is the only picture where there's a jersey with a number and a name on it. The number 9 DIGN jersey. So as soon as we sign whoever Dignan is, and he wears the number 9 jersey, this prophecy can be fulfilled.
Okay, he's probably in middle school right now.
Dignan?
I really think this guy in the middle was Spencer right here.
Now, I will say something.
And there's an actual lion. Look at that. That's an actual lion swimming.
He's doing the backstroke
right here.
And there it is. That's what it will look. That's what AI predicts it'll look like in Detroit if the Lions win a Super Bowl.
I don't see any topless women there. Now, I will admit, I went to the nude beach in France, the south of France, and I did see a few more banana flips than I wanted to see.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not the only dude with the idea of going to a topless beach. What was that, Euro Trip? Have you ever seen the movie Girls? And there's a bunch of naked, fat European guys on the beach, like no hot, and then like all the sexy Euros are at the place nobody else goes to. Watch Euro Trip if you haven't seen it. Oh, yeah, that's what it'll look like if the Lions win the Super Bowl. Terry, we got about a half hour left in the show. We got to talk Michigan-Ohio State.
Big game.
Got to talk Michigan-Ohio State, and I want to get your pick'ems for the weekend, too. So can we do that coming up?
I can't wait.
And we're still taking phone calls. 313-552-6322 is the phone number. JB, what am I supposed to talk about next? Is it Guardian Alarm?
Yeah, Guardian Alarm.
You know about it. You want the AG-style defense? I'm kidding. It's better than that. It's Guardian Alarm. They defend your home like the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. Guardian Alarm since 1930. They know the playbook. Call them right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That is 1-800-STAY-OUT to keep people out of your house and give you that peace of mind that you need going into the holidays.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers, this is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Stanford.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for 50 years? You guys know what happens? You expand. And that's exactly what Les Stanford did. They got Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and they are all the same great service that you have come to know. There's one located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. If you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, check them out in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Braylon Edwards today, which is always a weird thing to say. And that is Terry Foster filling in for Ryan Ermanni.
Right.
And then, of course, we have JB and Detroit Kool-Aid in the house. Just got a text. Aiden Hutchinson will be on College Game Day, according to Twitter. Former Michigan defensive lineman Aiden Hutchinson will be the College Game Day guest picker tomorrow in Ann Arbor. And what a bananas show it's going to be tomorrow in Ann Arbor. Terry?
Yeah, I wonder who he's going to pick.
Are you going up there?
No, it's too many people.
Too many people?
No,
you're a man of the people. You are the people.
I am, but a game like this, I watch at home.
Do you feel that this year's rivalry is a little more ratcheted up than past years because of all the espionage and you don't have the coach on the sideline?
No. I think it's always ratcheted up. They hate Michigan in Ohio, state of Ohio, and as quiet as it's kept, people in Michigan hate Ohio State.
That's not
so
quiet.
I think it's always ratcheted up. I mean, they always swelled. I mean, I went there. I've gone to the Horseshoe or the Shoe, whatever, a few times now. When the Michigan comes out of their locker room, one time there's these blue-haired ladies, like they're like 5'5", 5'4", MFing every player that came out. Go back to that hellhole, the state of Michigan. This was like in the 90s. I mean, these women were like, this is your grandma. You wanted to hug them until they went out there and saw the Michigan players, and they just went ballistic. But I've always seen hatred in this series. I don't think it's any more special, any more ratcheted up this year than it's been before. It's just always been nasty.
See, when I was talking to D-Mac about it, D-Mac had made such a great analogy. You know, like the Woody and Bo days before. Mm-hmm. That was like the antiquated way of good rivalry with coaches that hate each other.
Right.
This is like if Netflix made a remake of that with Jim Harbaugh and Ryan Day, because now it's all electronic cheating. It's all talking back and forth on Twitter. It's running your mouth through the media. Before, Woody and Bo would just kind of go at it and punch each other if they got close enough. This is more just private investigators and using cell phones, and it's like the 2023 version of what a rivalry should be.
Right. Did you see the clip from Jim Harbaugh when they asked, do you respect Ryan Day?
Yeah.
And he said, well, when you go out there, we got to win the ball game, and it's tough every time you go out there, and you got to prepare, and they got to prepare. He did not answer the question. In other words, hell no, I do not respect this man with the black beard. He's a bad coach. Yes, Ohio State is soft, and we're going to kick their ass.
Yeah, they followed up by asking Ryan Day about it. They said, what did you think about Jim Harbaugh's response? And he's like, I don't really care what their coaching staff thinks about us. And it's like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. That third base comment has owned you for years, and it has earwormed its way into your head so much. Dude. And now that you haven't beat them in damn near 4 years, woo.
Dude,
hey, bro,
if he cares about what Lou Holtz says, good and damn well he cares about what Jim Harbaugh is saying about him.
Did you see that report on Twitter that Urban Meyer is helping them game plan for this game?
I heard about that, but
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it, but to me personally, man, bring back Urban Meyer. I don't think he would have went and called up his brother to go and investigate a team he couldn't beat. That's weak, man. Ryan Day was born on third base. Get him out of here, man.
Yeah, did you hear the name of the detective agency that they founded in 2000 or 2021? It was called Third Day. So, like, that third base comment has been stuck in his brain. And once again, these are all allegations. I don't have proof to any of this. This is just what I'm hearing. I am not a professional reporter. So I read what I read, and I give it back to you, the people.
You have to be careful about Michigan and Ohio State rumors. 90% of them are not true. But the fan base thinks they're 100% true.
Regurgitates them.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I heard a rumor Ohio State is, has a spy inside of Michigan's locker room. Well, that's all they need to hear. That's fact.
That is now gospel.
You can't convince me that's not the truth.
You've worked with some Michigan reporters. They're a little more loyal to the brand than most reporters, right? Like Michigan
they are,
makes them walk the line.
They do. And I feel sorry for Michigan reporters in the bank because I used to be a Michigan beat reporter.
Okay.
And I got into it with Bo Schembechler. This is way back in the day. He didn't like what I wrote, and he said, I'm going to get you kicked out of Michigan's program. And you know what my response is? I don't play for you. So you can do whatever you want.
What was it that the article was about, or what did you report?
I found out who was going to be the starting quarterback between Demetrius Brown and Michael Taylor. Because assistant coach went to Frazier's and got drunk and started spilling the beans that he shouldn't have. So I was like, I'm putting this in my story.
Were you accurate with your reporting? Was that the move that they made?
It was 100% correct.
So he was just mad that you were giving inside information?
Right. Then I found out that Bo was going to be the athletic director at Michigan. And so I called him. Well, I didn't actually call him. I called his office. And so the secretary wouldn't let me through to him. But I heard Bo. He was listening to the phone conversation, and it was really, I'm going to write in the paper the next day that you're going to be the next athletic director. And I heard him scream, "You tell Foster to run that story at his own risk."
And you did, of course.
And I ran it.
Terry Big Dick Foster.
And then
the next scared of nobody.
Then later that night or early the next morning, they said, well, there's going to be a press conference in Michigan. And so then he saw me. He winked at me. He said, I have to scare you off. You have to understand that because you're a young guy.
What are you feeling going into this game? Michigan's favored by 3.5 points. It's at the Big House. It's at noon. I didn't check the weather before I came in, but if it's anything like today, it'll be a good football.
Snow.
It's supposed to snow this weekend in the Great Lakes area. What that means, who the hell knows?
I believe it's supposed to snow on Sunday.
A few weeks ago, I had the belief that there was no way Michigan was going to lose this game. Now I'm feeling a little bit different, that it's going to be one of those one-score games that we talk about in the NFL, that one of these teams is going to win by 3 points. Now, the thing that I think that's happened with Ohio State, Lou Holtz is right. They are soft. And so we don't know how soft they are because they haven't played a real team except Notre Dame, who may not be everything we think they are. But
and they almost lost that game.
Yeah, I know. Well, he was talking about how tough they were. Yeah, they're tough going 2 inches against 10 men on Notre Dame's defense. I mean, they look real tough then. But see, I think what Michigan has been able to do with Ohio State the last 2 years, they've had some good games early, but at some point Michigan breaks their spirit.
Yep.
And then they begin to manhandle, and then it turns into a mollywop.
Well, that's only because they stole the signs, Terry.
Well, they stole the signs this year, not. I don't know about that.
No, Donovan Edwards stole the signs last year when he was running right up their ass.
Right.
When they couldn't make a tackle. Like that, Ohio State. You want to say I'm full of excuses? Ohio State is full of excuses. You have gotten punched straight in the face for 2 years in a row and done nothing about it. Absolutely nothing about it. The thing that does scare me about Ohio State, though, that Michigan hasn't faced because there is only one of them, is Marvin Harrison Jr. You haven't faced a caliber wide receiver like that. But what gives me hope is they faced Jackson Smith and Jigba last year. They faced some quality wide receivers that Ohio State has put out. Plus, they had to face C.J. Stroud last year, and they still won that ball game. C.J. Stroud has turned out to be a pretty damn good quarterback. Who the hell is the Ohio State quarterback this year?
He's bad.
I don't even know his name. Who is he? Does anybody know? Look at that. We got 4 people who are in sports.
I knew it 20 minutes ago, and now you messed me up by saying you didn't know who he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat know Ohio State's quarterback? Anybody?
I just know he's not very good.
Yes, exactly.
To Kyle McCord?
If all things are considered, I take Michigan to do exactly what they did last year. Just grind it out on this team. And if they want to do the Penn State route and just get aggressive and run the ball 37 times in a row, I would love to see that against Ohio State. Just pummel these punks. Punch them repeatedly until they quit. Because they'll quit. They're from Ohio. They quit.
Kyle McCord.
They quit last
that's
year.
his name.
And the year before last.
They quit, yeah. They're quitters. Ryan Day has raised a class of quitters. And that's what these kids are. They don't know how to beat Michigan. They don't know what it looks like. You know, these kids were freshmen, or these kids were in high school the last time, even if you're a senior on this team, the last time Ohio State beat Michigan. So it's a new ball game, man. And Jim Harbaugh ain't even there.
Yeah, no, this is the thing I've never seen in this rivalry. I've never seen Michigan or Ohio State quit against the other. When they get behind, it's like, I'm still kicking your ass.
Right. It becomes rivalry. It becomes, I can't beat you, so I'm going to beat you.
Right. And then, but, I mean, last year, I think Ohio State like, damn, we done.
Kyle McCord is the name. Kyle McCord. Sports talk show. Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord is the name.
Yep, that's it.
All right, sweet.
And he's not good.
Kyle McCord has not been on my radar. And I'll fully admit, I'm not the biggest college football fan. I watch important games, and that's it, because I'm really not interested in watching Michigan mop the floor with Albion. That's not something I want to spend my Saturday time on. So I watch big games in college football and the end of the season and the playoffs and stuff like that.
So that's why I like the NFL better than college football.
Oh, so much better.
NFL, any team can beat the other. You know, Michigan has a 2-game schedule this year. Penn State and Ohio State.
That's it.
So they're 1-0. They'll be 2-0 after Saturday, and they go to the college football playoffs.
Yeah. I'm interested in this game, though. I was telling you before the show, everything that Michigan's been through this year has made me root for them. And I'll turn on a Michigan game, even when it's a rivalry game, and I don't get the emotions like I do for a Lions game. You know, heart pumping, I'm in it, I'm on the edge of my seat, hoping for the first down, rooting for a big play, and stuff like that. I found myself when Michigan was playing Penn State to be exactly that. I turned into a Michigan fan that I've never been before because I wanted them to go on the road against Penn State and win without their head coach. And then the way they did it by taking it to a number 1, number 2 ranked run defense and just beating them over the head, I thought it was amazing. Like, this whole controversy about cheating, stealing signs, and I think that's the biggest thing to me, why I care now, is because I don't think stealing signs is a deal at all. Like, I don't care. All teams do it. Michigan was doing it at a grander level. I don't care.
Then if it doesn't make a difference, then why did Michigan go through all this to do that?
It does make a difference.
You just said it didn't.
I said all teams do it, so it doesn't make a difference.
Well, but not to this extent. They don't go to opposing teams. They don't
really,
get my
Terry?
school CMU involved.
Really? There's high school programs that send out kids, the scouts, to games to scout the next game.
Yeah, but high school, they don't do the little stupid place cards and stuff.
Hey, let me ask you why they do the stupid place cards, Terry. Because people are stealing signs. Like, that's why the place cards are there, because they know you can't just yell out, "Hey, we're running Eagle 56." Yep. You know why? Because someone would be listening.
Play card signs.
Right, but why are there play card signs? Because people would be stealing what they were calling in anyways.
All right.
Like,
or you could do this.
If stealing wasn't around, the play card signs wouldn't matter anyways.
Or you can do this. How about headphones? You can't do that.
Simple, easy. Problem solved. And that's why that's why it's much to do about nothing.
Or
for
how
me.
about this? I'm going real old school to you.
Uh-oh.
You bring out a wide receiver running back, whisper the play to him.
Yep.
He tells the quarterback, and the quarterback tells the rest of the team.
There you go. Boom.
Bam. But Michigan was trying to cheat.
Yes. But they did what everybody else did. Why do you think coaches talk like this into a clipboard? Because somebody's trying to read their lips, right? It's not just Michigan doing that. Like, it's just so stupid.
Right, but here's the main thing. Michigan people deny that Michigan ever does anything wrong.
Oh,
so
see,
that's why this is a big deal.
Michigan was driving 15 over. Everybody else is driving 10 over. That's the way I look at this.
I feel like everybody was just driving 15 over. It's like if everybody has everybody's signs,
No.
and they know that,
the way I look at it. Michigan drives 15 over, and then their Sickle fans said, no, they weren't. They were driving the speed limit.
See, that's the thing. I'm not going to tell you they weren't stealing signs. I'm just going to tell you I don't care.
Because doesn't everybody it was proven that Ohio State, Rutgers, Penn State, and these guys, Purdue, that they all have Michigan signs as well.
That they were
has
sending,
not been proven.
They were sending an email.
That's another rumor.
Well, it's fact.
That the folks here believe is 100% correct.
Well, you want to know what's not a rumor? How delicious Big Boy is.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a rumor.
I like Big Boy.
And they got comfort foods right now, potato pancakes, veal parmigiana, and, of course, that Southern Comfort chicken bowl. Make sure you go there, and to top it off, they got that gingerbread shake for dessert. You ever had a gingerbread shake?
I have not.
Sounds damn good to me. BigBoy.com. Go check it out. There's one near you, and you can follow them on all their social media.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Fairway Packing. If you go out to eat this weekend, you know what? Probably the fine dining restaurant that you went to. You know where they got their meat? Fairway Packing. And you can have that same delicious meat at your house. Prime rib, dry aged beef. Give them a call today, 313-332-5114. Purveyors of the finest meats since 1956. That's Fairway Packing Co. All right, welcome back to Three Brothers and a Stick right here on Woodward Sports. My name is Stick, filling in for Braylon Edwards today. Ryan Ermanni is also out. Maz is out. Terry had to run to the restroom, so I'm stuck here with JB and, of course, Kool-Aid. Terry, that was a quick piss. Terry's right back right now. But let's get into a round of, you know what? We talked about Michigan a little bit. We didn't get into our predictions for the game, so let's do that. Everybody in the chat, too, give us your prediction for the game. I want to know what you think is going to happen tomorrow at noon in Ann Arbor. JB, let's start with you. What you thinking about this game?
Ooh, I think it's going to be close, but Michigan does pull off the win in this one. I will say Michigan 27, Ohio State 23.
27-23. All right, Kool-Aid, who you got?
I was going with Michigan, man. I was going with a 24-13 type game. I feel like Michigan has the edge, but Harbaugh does count for something, and that's the only reason why it's not going to be the beatdowns that we saw the past couple of years.
All right, what about you, T-Foss?
Low scoring, 23-20 Wolverines.
Wolverines? So they won't cover the spread, though.
They will not. So I'm picking Ohio State then.
There you go. If you're a betting man, Terry's taking Ohio State. I hope it's an absolute beatdown, and I could see it going that way because I don't think Ohio State has dealt with adversity at any point this season. A little bit playing Notre Dame, but the adversity that Michigan has faced by not having their head coach for 6 games, I think they know how to sack up and play a big game. So I got Michigan 33, Ohio State 13.
Ooh.
33-13.
That's a blowout, dude.
It is a blowout, dude.
Ooh.
It'll be probably 13-13 through a half.
Right.
And then, boom. Next thing you know, Michigan's coming through.
20 points in one quarter.
I can see it. It could happen.
And we'll make fun of Stick, and we'll text them all day and say, look, you idiot.
Right.
How could you pick 33-13 and then they'll score 20 points in the fourth quarter to win 33-13, and then when he texts us back, none of us will respond.
Just crickets, just absolute crickets.
We turn our phones off.
But that seems to be what Michigan's been doing all season long, right? They keep it close for the first half, and then the second half, they're like, all right, well, we're done playing with our food.
I know, but those are not real teams.
I know. Neither is Ohio State.
Ohio State is a real team.
That's yet to be seen. That's yet to be seen. All right, you guys want to go over pick'ems for the weekend, Terry?
Sure.
Because I know if Maz was here, he'd want us to do the pick'ems. This is Maz's specialty. Saints at the Falcons. Falcons are -1. Who you got?
Saints. I always believe, and it's not true, but I always believe the Falcons choke against halfway decent teams. I'm going to go New Orleans.
New Orleans. All right. Who you got, Kool-Aid?
Going with the Saints.
Saints. Who you got?
I'm taking the Saints as well.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the Saints in this one as well. I believe David Carr is back, and he will be starting for them, even though if he gets hurt, Jameis Winston stepping in. It's still fun to watch,
Carr's
too.
Back?
I believe so.
I'm picking the Falcons. No, I'm just kidding.
Steelers at Bengals. Joe Burrow no longer playing this season, but the Bengals are +1.5. Who you got?
Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah, Steelers.
Give me the Steelers. I can't trust the Cincinnati's quarterback right now. Was it Jake Browning? I have no idea.
You know what? The Steelers are probably the anomaly of the NFL. Like, I wish the Lions would be the Steelers, and I think Neil put it best. When they're bad, they're in the playoffs. When they're great, they're competing for world championships. Right. Like, this is a bad season for the Steelers, and they have a pretty decent record. Jags at Texans. The Texans are -2. Ooh. CJ Stroud has changed things around for the Texans.
Yeah, he has. I'm going Texans. I love CJ Stroud.
You do? Mm-hmm. All right. Who you got, Kool-Aid?
I like CJ Stroud, but I feel like the Jags, man. They've had a decent season.
JB?
Give me the upset on this one. I'm taking the Texans.
All right, I'm going to take the Jags. Travis Etienne is going to run wild in this game.
We split on that one.
Chiefs at Raiders. Raiders are +8.5. Chiefs haven't scored a touchdown in the second half in 3 games. Like, as bad as people want to bash Jared Goff, Mahomes isn't putting them up, and yes, we can blame drops, but aren't those just excuses? Isn't that what I hear? Go ahead. Who you got, Terry?
That does concern. No. That does concern me a little bit about Kansas City. But at some point, Kansas City's got to become the Chiefs again.
Right.
And I'm going to say this is going to happen here because they're going to be in Vegas. They'll be loose, and they'll probably be at the crap tables. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Who you got, Kool-Aid?
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs here, man.
Yep.
Give me the Chiefs on this one. I mean, even though I don't like Patrick Mahomes, it's still the Chiefs.
How can you not like Patrick Mahomes?
I'm just not a fan of him. I don't know whether it's him, his playing style, the goofy
it's
way
his brother and it's his girlfriend.
Well, yeah, them two.
That's what it is. Nobody likes those two.
Right.
What?
Huh? But the dude sounds like Kermit the Frog.
That is true too.
You not like him.
But it's interesting how you can struggle if you're Patrick Mahomes. People will give you the benefit of the doubt because you've won a couple Super Bowls. But if you struggle and you're Jared Goff, you are awful and Hendon Hooker should start.
He hasn't won anything here, so
that's but he's been to a Super Bowl.
But you have to have a resume for people to believe in you.
What are they in their last 20 games, Terry?
16-4, but that's not a no. They didn't get a championship for that.
But it's on the resume.
It's on the resume, but they don't have
that's a pretty good stretch to be on the resume.
Trophy or even a plaque for that. You don't get anything for going 16-4.
Would you rather have a divisional title or a playoff win?
Both.
Come on, don't be lazy. Who you got?
Got to have a playoff win.
Playoff, yeah. Thank you. Kool-Aid.
What, playoff one?
Yeah.
Yeah, playoff one.
Yeah,
playoff win. Come on.
People were debating me on the postgame show yesterday. Oh, if you don't win the division, it doesn't matter. Like, what? No, if you don't win a playoff game, if you win the division every year and lose in the first round, what does it matter? Like,
You're the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. You're the Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers. Bills at Eagles. Bills have kind of found their way again. They're looking like a much better football team. Eagles, people say they haven't played up to their potential, even though they've only lost one game. It was to the Jets. Eagles are -3.5 at Philly.
I'm going Eagles, man. They're at home, and they don't lose.
Yeah, I don't see the Eagles losing this at all, man. I want them to, but I just don't see it happening.
Nah, it's not happening. Eagles take this one.
Yeah, and if we do see the Eagles lose, we want it to be against an NFC team. I don't care if they lose to an AFC team.
And you're going to tell me Allen's not going to have a turnover or 2 or 3?
He could. That offense has played a lot better the past 2 weeks. It really has. Ever since they changed who was calling the plays. They look like the Bills of previous years, because I thought they were dead in the water until the last couple weeks. And it's crazy like that in the NFL. It's almost like you can play bad some weeks, play really good, and you go in ebbs and flows. It's crazy like that. Ravens at the Chargers. The Chargers are 3.5 favorites.
Damn, I thought the Chargers are favorite?
Oh, no, the Chargers are plus 3.5.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I thought it'd be plus 7.5.
Yeah, well,
they
always, what do they say? If you're at home, they'll give you 3 points. So it should be
right there.
Yeah, if they were on a neutral site, it'd be 6.5.
I think at this moment, the Ravens might be the best team in the National Football League. I think the Chargers, man, they're too.
They're mid.
Iffy.
They are the
me.
definition of mid. Who you got?
Iffy.
Yeah, the Ravens.
JB?
I'm taking the Ravens on this one, and Brandon Stanley gets fired.
I'm actually going to take the Chargers on this one because, like, when they played the Lions, I said they're a team. They're a throw of the dice. They can show up and beat anybody, but they can also show up and lose to anybody. I think this is the week that they're a beat anybody team. Plus, you go from Baltimore and you travel to L.A. You're going to be and you're going to be having a good time in L.A. because there ain't shit in Baltimore. Baltimore's the worst city in America.
LA in a lot of ways is overrated.
Yes.
Because it takes you too long to get from party to party.
Yeah. Yeah, LA. I've been to LA a couple times. It's fun, but I prefer Detroit. You guys have a great weekend. Happy Black Friday. Hopefully you go get those deals. Michigan, Ohio State tomorrow. No Lions game on Sunday. 10 days off. We regroup. Lions get back on track next week. Have a great Friday. The heavyweights are up next, right? Oh, God.
The big boys.
Jared Goff haters. Your ears better be ringing because it's going to be 2 hours of nonsense with the big fellas coming up next. See you guys later.